Welcome to Fake Love and Flying Monkeys, the podcast where fake love is exposed. I'm Nova Gibson and I am your host. I'm the principal counsellor at Brighter Outlook Narcissistic Abuse Counselling.com.au. This space is dedicated to helping you reclaim your worth and understand the impact of toxic relationships with suspected narcissists. You deserve clarity, healing, and freedom from the pain of fake love and flying monkeys. So please leave a review and grab a copy of my book, Fake Love, Understanding and Healing from Narcissistic Abuse. Let's uncover the truth and take back your power. Hi, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Fake Love and Flying Monkeys. When the narcissist knows you know and loses control, what happens? Well, that's what we're going to be talking about in this episode. There's a moment in every survivor's journey when that veil lifts. So I call it the light bulb moment, when you finally realize what you've been going through, who you've been dealing with, whether someone's just mentioned that word narcissist or you've started Googling their behavior and up pops that word over and over again, and they match every trait. They tick all the boxes. For a time at least, you stop questioning yourself. You're not going insane. They lied. You start remembering what they did to you. You start seeing those patterns of behavior. They weren't just one-offs. And you realize, no, they weren't just moody. It wasn't that they were insecure. No, it wasn't complicated. They are a full-blown mask-wearing, manipulative narcissist. And worse, they've been feeding off your confusion and your pain the whole time. So what happens when they realize you know the game? When that power shift begins and they start to feel their grip loosening over you? Well, let's dive in. Buckle up. But before I go any further, guys, just a quick reminder to subscribe and follow me on my new YouTube channel. You'll find the link in the description, and I'll be doing some live streams where we'll be able to interact, and I am just so looking forward to seeing you there. But on with the show. Let's take a look at what they see before you even confront them when you know the truth, because the reality is they know you so well in terms of they know how to manipulate you. And when you stop reacting on cue, they know about it, whether it's just the tiniest little display of boundaries or not. They know. Maybe it's that your tone is not quite as apologetic, or maybe your eyes don't look at them with the same desperation. Maybe you start pausing just for that split second before you react. And let me tell you guys, that subtle shift, it terrifies them. Narcissists rely on that control. Not the healthy, let's talk things through kind that normal people do during normal, healthy discussions, but the sneaky, emotional chokehold kind. So when you start to detach, even slightly, they feel it like a shark smells blood in the water. They know, they sense it. And what do? They start squirming and cue the love bombing again, the weird gifts, the fake "I've changed" speeches, or even the sudden threats, or the breadcrumbs of days where they're simply not abusing you, that feel like gold to you because the rock bottom low days were so bad. They're trying to reel you back in at those times before it's too late. Here's the thing about narcissists. Their entire identity is an act. It's a performance. They're actors in this one-person play. And the audience, you and everyone else, well, in essence, you stopped clapping. You're telling them that they're not as grand and special as they think they are because they can't control you anymore. When they realize they can no longer gaslight you or make you dance to their chaos, that mask begins to slip. Suddenly the cracks start showing. Their charm falters. Their temper erupts even quicker, and their stories stop adding up. You basically see through those crocodile tears. You stop falling for their staged vulnerability, and you start calling them out on things like what they're actually doing to you: manipulation, projection, control. They hate that because now you're not just an ex-partner or the child of the narcissistic parent who should comply out of obligation and guilt. You are a threat. And because you're a threat, they need to destroy your credibility. Cue the smear campaign. If there's one thing narcissists hate more than losing control, it's looking bad. It's image. That is everything to them. So the moment they sense you're slipping away, they start flipping the narrative. You become the villain, the crazy one, the abuser in this relationship. Why? Because they know they can't control you anymore, but they still can control the perceptions of others. They still can control how others see you, and they'll do everything in their power to change how other people see you. So they will say things like, oh, she's emotionally unstable. There's something wrong with her. Or they'll just spread lies about how they tried everything to make it work, but you just wouldn't be a willing participant. They'll play the wounded hero to anyone who will listen. And the more calm and composed you remain, the more unhinged they become behind closed doors. They want your reactions, but hold steady, guys, because the truth always outlives the lie. It does with the people that you really want in your life in the long run. And when you start giving them your silence instead of your emotions, it drives them crazy. They give the silent treatment to punish. That is not the goal when you give silence instead of your emotions to crazy making. The intent when you say nothing to their gaslighting is for you to heal. That's your boundaries. That's your dignity. Zero reaction. And just think of it. No more justifying. No more explaining. No more defending yourself against their absurd accusations, their projections around accusing you of doing the very behavior that they are engaging in. Just your silence. Grey rock, no contact. And let me tell you guys, nothing messes with a narcissist more than your peace. They are losing control of you and they can't stand it because without your reactions, their game stops working. You're no longer feeding the machine, and they will poke and they'll provoke. They will do anything to get you back to reacting, to get that rise out of you, to regain their control over you. But when they get nothing, that's when their own bottomless pit of emptiness starts echoing back at them. Just because they know that you know though, doesn't mean that they're actually going to go away forever and leave you alone and go, oh well, they're an empty source. I'll give them away forever. No, they love to leave you alone for a while and then come back when they feel it's the right time to hoover you back, whether that's into a toxic engagement of arguing or through another love bombing cycle beginning. They will do anything they can to regain control at a time when they think that you've let your guard down. They'll try one last grand gesture if possible. So don't be surprised if just when you've gone no contact for good and you've started healing, they suddenly reappear with this grand, dramatic apology. They will say things like, oh, I've been doing a lot of thinking and no one compares to you. Or maybe they'll say something like, oh, I was scared. That's why I pushed you away. Or the old chestnut, let's go to therapy. That's what you wanted. And now I realize how much work I have to do and how much I have to lose. And I'll do anything. Guys, this is a genuine remorse. This is a reset attempt. It's like someone pushing the reset button on a PlayStation game because they don't like how it's going and they want to start off with a full tank to destroy the enemy of Space Invaders. If you are able to escape, guys, and go no contact or grey rock, minimal contact, you will be the one who got away to the narcissist because they love to keep their old targets around in a harem, you could say. They want to save you for a rainy day. And when you figure them out and you lock them out of your life for good, believe me, they will know that you're healing. You don't have to accidentally unblock them. They'll stalk your socials. They'll send flying monkeys. They'll triangulate you with others to test your reaction, to test your boundaries. But hopefully you're never going to know about that because of your no contact. But please know that if they can get a foot in the door, which might just be realizing that you're watching them, that's contact, then they will take advantage of that and try and hook you back into another cycle. But don't let them, guys. You are now armed up with knowledge and boundaries, and you're like a mirror that they hate looking into because you reflect their truth back at them, and that burns. So they either try to destroy that mirror or they desperately try to avoid it. So if they do get a foot in the door, it is only to destroy you and to make the next discard even more horrific than the last. And if you were the one to leave last time, if you escaped, then they will make sure that this time they're in control of the end. Now, I just want to prepare you guys for the narcissist doing everything and anything they can to regain control. In other words, to get your attention, to get your reactions, to get your emotions. They will up that ante until they find what works, till they finally hit that vulnerability, that little chink in your armor that they know will cause you excruciating pain, if not just confusion enough that you will react. They will jump into a new relationship. If they weren't already grooming someone, which they normally are, they will find someone. You've left, and here they are in a new relationship where they're so happy, that supports the narrative that the problem was with you, which they've been telling everyone, you, the crazy one. But guys, please know that if they engage in this very common strategy to make you feel like the whole relationship was a lie and they can so easily replace you and forget about you, please know that's not healing. That is supply shopping. So yes, if they move on 5 seconds later, it's all part of their strategy. It's a reflection of their desperation to regain control. Most of the time they would have had that new target there anyway. They just mightn't have been quite ready to move on to that stage of the plan where you were the old primary source and have now become the new secondary source. So, final thoughts. When the narcissist knows you know, they panic, they scramble, they lash out if they can, because the truth is, narcissists don't fear the rejection as such. They fear the exposure that comes with you rejecting them. They know, you know, you've seen that person behind the mask. They fear losing access to someone who believed that that mask was real. They fear being seen for who they really are. But you didn't just survive, guys. You woke up. You turn your pain into power. And if you haven't yet left, you will one day turn that confusion into clarity when you are able to go no contact, grey rock. You'll turn your trauma into transformation. And once that happens, they can never touch you the same way again. When the narcissist knows that you know, you hold all the cards. And that brings us to the end of another Fake Love and Flying Monkeys episode. Yes, when the narcissist knows you know, it would be like for us putting years and years of our blood, sweat and tears into establishing a business, and then suddenly a fire comes along and destroys all your hard work. That's what it's like for them to lose a supply that they have put so much work into securing, and they don't like it when you realize who they are and you stop reacting. Now, if you are on your own healing journey from narcissistic abuse, please don't hesitate to reach out. I am a professional counselor, so please see my website link in the description, where you'll also find a link to order your copy of my best-selling book, Fake Love. Now, if you'd like to help the channel, guys, every tiny little bit helps, and the best thing you can do is to leave a rating and a review where you can, and to share. And if you'd like to do just that little bit extra, you'll find a link in the description where you can buy me a cup of coffee. On that note, it's bye from me for now. Until tomorrow's episode, remember, you are worthy of love, and you are worthy of so much more than a lifetime of fake love and flying monkeys.